All right, Venture fam, welcome to episode 2. Today we're going to dig in a little bit behind the scenes with some of our coaches. Apologize for any background noise. It is a holiday and we've got a full gym happening behind us, so you might hear a barbell drop or two, but let's get right into it. Coach, what's a movement you really enjoy coaching?
The movement that I absolutely love to coach is deadlifts. Deadlifts is the basics of everything that we do. You're bending down, you're picking something up off the floor, and you're going to stand it up. And that's the movement where everything starts, and that's why I enjoy coaching it the most.
Movement I really enjoy coaching are bar muscle ups, because the very first one is always the best reaction. It's very fun, very worth it.
First reaction isn't like the very first time they ever do one?
Yes, the very first time they ever do one, they stay on top of the bar for like 10 minutes, swinging those feet. That's probably one of my favorite movements to coach.
I really enjoy coaching all the Olympic lifts. I think because there's always something to coach. No matter how good you get at clean and jerk and snatch, there's always improvements to be made, even if you are an elite level athlete.
Running, form and technique is really big for me. Also just the Olympic lifts. So I love power cleans because they really correlate to what you're doing with strength and conditioning. It's a very explosive movement. So it's kind of fun to kind of break down those mechanics. It's also something that I struggled with when I was a college athlete. So trying to help people get that proper mechanics down. It's very pivotal when you're sitting there working on the basics and trying to have a longevity of training.
I really enjoy coaching gymnastics. So anything from handstand push-ups, ring muscle-ups, bar muscle-ups, pull-ups, and so on.
How did you get into coaching?
Funny enough, I got into coaching because I wanted to work out during off hours. And you were kind enough to tell me that the only way I could do that was that if I was a coach. So I got my level 1 certification, and then I got the keys to the city, so to speak. So that's how I got into it.
I got into coaching because you allowed me to coach a class here of a ton of my friends. And so 30 people wound up showing up. It was way too many people to have in the gym at one time, but we had a blast and so much fun. And I learned it was something I loved doing and wanted to keep doing.
I got into coaching because at my first CrossFit gym, the AM coach quit. So no one wanted to get up at 4 o'clock to open the gym. And I spent some time in the service, so I had been getting up at that time a lot, and I just thought it would be a good fit for me. I wanted to try it out, and the rest is history.
Coaching, so I used to run track in college, and I had a group of teenagers from a client at Venture. So they got me into just starting to teach them just how to run. And then from there, I started having a group of about 10 to 15 people, and it's just been kind of like a snowball effect since then. Started doing actual CrossFit classes now too, so hopefully people are not too mad at me doing workouts. But yeah, the kids got me into it, and then just CrossFit got me to stay around.
I think it started off at that first gym that I went to. They really needed coaches, and at the time I was excited about being able to kind of, 1, get free membership, and 2, it just kind of challenged me to kind of be a better version of myself.
So with everything out there, why CrossFit?
CrossFit is all about functional movement. I've been doing CrossFit for many, many years now, and the one thing that I keep coming back to is it helps me move better in everyday life, because every day I'm bending down and I'm picking something up or I'm pushing something over my head, and that's the same thing that we do in CrossFit, and that's why I just keep coming back to it every single day.
People ask me this a lot, and the question that I always give is CrossFit is something in my life that makes me feel like a kid again. And I think a lot of people would say the same thing. So something that I identify with, like being a kid, is practicing things, working on things, getting better, shooting 10 free throws in the driveway, playing a video game over and over again until you like beat it. And I realized when I started CrossFit, like learning double unders, learning a bar muscle up, getting that thing for the first time that you've been practicing for a month is a feeling that makes me feel like a kid again.
Ooh, CrossFit because of the community. It's like a jungle gym. Every day after work, you get to see your friends and you're hanging out. You know, you talk to a lot of people and ask them how often they get to hang out with their friends, and it's not that often. And we're very blessed, very fortunate to see the same faces over and over again over a long period of time.
The constantly varying workouts help a lot. Start off with LA Fitness, and then I started just playing basketball at LA Fitness because I didn't really have any energy to make my own workouts out. So came into CrossFit and I got my butt whooped by some little girl lifting up a 95-pound overhead squat. And since then, I was just kind of driven to kind of get better. And I've always used just my own kind of parameters with it, but the workouts are great. I mean, the results are proven from my.
I was actually in Global Gym for 25 years and still look like wheat thins. So I was like, I need to change it up. And so I was like constantly going from like benching the same reps, the same weight every single day, and it just became a hamster wheel. And so when I got into CrossFit, every workout was different, and I liked that aspect of it, and I liked that everyone was doing the same thing, and there was like a challenge involved in the workouts of the day.
Specifically, what's one of the hardest things about coaching?
You know, the hardest thing for me here at Venture is that we have athletes with varying backgrounds, varying skills. And so the hardest thing about coaching is just trying to figure out, how do I motivate somebody that's been here for 10 years? And how do I motivate somebody that's been here for 10 minutes? What are the little cues that I can give the 10-year person to keep them moving forward and the 10-minute person to keep them coming back? And that's the most challenging thing about coaching for me.
Ooh. Members talking during the warm-up. No.
I'm pretty sure that was real. Yeah, that's the first one. That's the honest one. Go ahead. Tell your lie now.
Really, but also I think, in all honesty, is self-sacrifice. Being a coach, you really have to give your time. You have to give your attention, and most of the coaches are 9-to-5ers. So, you know, we have to take a little bit from ourselves to give to the community, and I think that it's an awesome responsibility to have, but it is also sometimes a daily struggle, or a weekly struggle, or a monthly struggle. It just depends, but it's always worth it.
Making a class productive, beneficial, and enjoyable for all skill levels. So the beginner level athlete who is timid about CrossFit and doesn't know any of the movements, and the person who's been training for 10 years and is an elite level athlete. Sometimes it's a challenge to make class equally beneficial for both.
People don't listen. It's in everything you do. I don't care if you go to the grocery store, we all have these things that irritate us, but people typically try to do more than they need to do to start off with, and it's kind of reining them in to sit there and kind of enjoy the process versus just coming in, blowing out their back, and all of a sudden like having that 1 to 2 month recovery versus like having a slow, steady build up. But it's the people. Y'all don't listen.
I say, when I'm getting ready to coach, like the night before, I have the vision of like what the layout's gonna be, you know, the goal that I want to achieve out of the workout that I'm about to coach. But when it actually comes into that exact moment, everything goes south. And you know, that's the best, and that is also the best part about coaching, that you learn to be able to pivot and being able to kind of be aware about what you can do differently and adapt to what happens. Because like there'll be a time where like I would have 8 people in the class. I'm like, cool, I can like there's like gonna be 8, and then it becomes 20 people in the class. So it's expecting the unexpected will probably be the hardest thing about coaching. And because you want to make sure they have a great experience, and you always want to give it the best class every single time.
What keeps you coming back?
The pursuit of better. So getting better every day, no feeling like it.
Ooh, same thing. Yeah, community. Whether I feel like talking to somebody or not, I come in the gym with my headphones on, they're almost take it off my head and ask me how my day's doing. You don't really get that anywhere else. People who really are asking genuine questions, and you know, they're going through the suck with you, even on a Saturday or not on a Saturday, right? They're going through the same things you're going through, and it makes it really relative, and it gives you a space to kind of let it all down and give your best effort and be vulnerable, and then make some connections and build some good relationships.
Community. I think we have a good group of people here who keep you engaged, and I think you have so many different levels of athletes here that you're never really the best, or even if you are, it's just you enjoy the journey of kind of what's going on. A group of people pushing you just allows you to kind of feel better about your workouts without trying to die every single time.
The community. I wouldn't be where I am today without the venture community. Even in the past gyms I was at, the community was always a core part of like my day to day. You see these people 5 to 6 times a week, and you know, you just look forward to kind of seeing what they're up to and what they're doing, and now end up sweating together.
If you could pick one movement for everyone to be perfect at, what would it be?
The one movement would be the back squat, because that is truly one thing that everybody does all day long. When you sit down in a seat, how you sit down in a seat and then how you stand up is exactly the type of things that we work on in the back squat. And so if I was gonna pick one thing for everybody to excel at, it would be to have perfect form in a back squat.
What would it be?
Oh, including myself, air squats. Yeah.
Why air squats?
Mobility. It's a simple thing that really tells the truth about who you are as a person, right? Or even if you're not trying, even if you're trying, we can tell because of like hip placement, knee placement, body posture, right? And then if you have all the mobility in the world, but you just want to go fast and your chest is facing the ground at the top of a squat, it also tells that tale too. So I think it's a simple movement that gives a lot of information about an athlete or a person, and it helps the coach kind of approach it in a psychological manner, knowing we know your strengths and your weaknesses, and we know where we can push you to do a little bit better. So do better at the small things, you get better at the big things.
I would say running, but that's a different one. If you're in this gym, squatting. I think it helps with mobility. It's just very good to just like move properly. If you're learning how to get down there well, then every other movement will kind of help out. You're trying to do snatches, cleans, everything really is working on getting to that point of depth. And if we get to that point of depth, we actually have better mobility. And after that, you kind of build from those stepping stones. After that, running, because lots of y'all run like you're trying to break the ground, and it's not good.
Push-ups. I feel like your answer would be the same.
Why push-ups?
I feel like, you can coach it every week for 5 years and the same people will come back the next week and be doing the same poor movement standards.
Air squats.
Why?
You got to go hit the depth. Hips need to go below the knees, and then when you come up to the top, I need to see fully extended the knees and the hips at the top. It's really not that hard, but I understand it's like easy just to kind of drop and think you're going depth, but people just are not aware about it.
So do you notice that more if they're doing a small amount of reps or a big amount of reps?
It's big amount of reps, like Murph, for example, when they're doing like 300 air squats, like maybe the first 30 reps are great, and then you start to kind of decline, the chest start to come forward, and then form just goes out the window.
So you're not here every day. You've got a regular 9 to 5. Do you feel like coaching here helps you with that?
I do. At my 9 to 5 job, I have to figure out how to give very small details to a wide range of people. I also have to figure out how to motivate a wide range of people. And so being here at Venture helps me do that, because every day that I come here to Venture, whether I'm coaching or whether I'm training on my own, that gives me something that I can take to the office that'll then help me be a better leader that I am in the office.
Oh, 100%. It translates 100% to my role as a manager in my 9 to 5. Like the standing in front of the monitor and telling them what we're doing today, and kind of going through items and asking if there are any questions, and kind of being there to see if there's anything that I can help with. Kind of translates to my role as a scrum master and like daily stand-ups and asking the team the same thing. Here's what we're doing today. Here's our goals. Is there any roadblocks, anything that I can help with, and just kind of being there to support them.
100%. It helps you with your temperament to start off with, because you have to learn how to manage people. I've been in management, so dealing with time management, people's just skill sets, learning where to put them, how to function, how to get stuff done in a certain amount of time. Because I've been in meetings where I'm there for 3 hours. It did not need to be 3 hours. So making sure your time on task is a lot more efficient helps out. It just correlates well to what you're doing in the corporate life.
100%. It helps me communicate clearly and concisely. Period.
100%. I'm in marketing, so I'm in a public-facing role. So not only does it help me with public speaking, it also helps me be able to be more aware about my situations and being able to react in the moment. And with marketing, trends change daily, so just being able to pivot different campaigns right in the moment. So I would say definitely coaching really helped me become better at speaking properly and being able to react in the moment.
So something a little different with CrossFit than other forms of fitness. We teach standards. We try to get everybody moving in the same progressions, the same movement standards, so that everybody has a similar way to compete. In the workouts, who do you feel cheats more, guys or girls?
I feel the guys cheat the most, and it is not even close. And the biggest thing is because I think that the guys are much more concerned about the score. And so yeah, if I'm picking, the guys cheat the most by far.
No comment. No comment.
That's also guys. He's talking about you.
Hey.
I'm going to say guys, but with the caveat of the classes that I coach seem to be like 90% guys. So I see a ton of guys cheating on movements, but per capita, I don't know.
It's not even close to guys. I don't know what it is about the girls. They just do their workout and they're happy with their results. Guys, they see somebody going and they all of a sudden want to be on that same plane. So we see you cheating reps. We know it. We see you hit the RX button, but just know that we know. 100% guys.
I'm going to be very diplomatic about this. I would say it's you versus you. You can cheat your reps or you can not cheat your reps. So it's just all about the progress that you're trying to be. And I think everyone can make it their own workout.
So guys, he said guys. So if you could give one piece of advice to someone who has never tried CrossFit, what would it be?
The one thing that I would say is when you come into a CrossFit box, especially place here, Venture that has so many different kinds of athletes, just learn the 9 functional movements. There's so many people that walk in with a misconception about CrossFit that everybody lifts heavy weights and everybody gets injured. And yet at the end of the day, the one thing that they start off with in CrossFit is if you just learn the 9 functional movements, you can scale them. Mm-hmm. You can learn how your body is supposed to move before you add weight and before you add complexity. And I think that is the one thing that I would just say to anybody that's coming in to try CrossFit for the first time. Just focus on the basics, focus on the fundamentals. It'll greatly decrease the chances that you're going to get hurt doing CrossFit.
Just show up, leave your ego at the door, give in, and give back. That's my advice. Just show up.
I think that people who have not tried CrossFit are scared of it for 2 reasons that they usually give. Number 1, it's a cult. And number 2, it's only for people who are super fit. Number 1 is 100% true. Number 2 is 100% not. It is for all people of all skill levels, and everything is modifiable.
So what do you think makes it a cult?
All the best things that make any great cult great, great community, great friendship, the feeling like you're a part of a club, the feeling of starting your day, coming somewhere where you feel like you are in your element. You know what to do. You know the lingo, you know the language, you know the movements, you know the etiquette. There's this feeling of like home and community and belongingness that you get when you go to a place like that.
Take your time. I don't think that you need to worry about what the RX or the standards of movements are. I think it's better to come in and figure out what works best for you as you start off with. And then once you get comfortable, slowly start kind of increasing your intensity, but don't just go balls to blazing and start off with, because that's when you have that detriment where you get hurt or you don't like something or your body's too sore to come back that next day. You want to be moving well for that first month and then start trying to push yourself.
Just do it, just like Nike says. We all come from different walks of life. Everybody here is coming with a purpose just to be the best version of themselves. And as cheesy as that sounds, is that it's the reality that you want to come here to be able to get a workout on, and most importantly, to be around other people that are achieving the same goal. And in the reality of it all, CrossFit isn't intimidating because the coaches are here to be able to help you scale to a workout that's going to be achieved to your needs. And we can continue to improve that time after time. And most importantly, the community got your back.
Look at the miles, I be in skies, right by my side. Miss, look at them thighs up in Dubai.